These stories are unbelievable. There was this Night Stalker who was a serial rapist. And then there's a story of a teen love triangle that turned deadly. Here with those unbelievable real-life stories, please welcome victims' rights attorney, author of Fight Back and Win, Gloria Allred, our old friend. Now, this first story is unreal. It's a 17-year-old girl named Adrienne Reynolds. She ends up brutally murdered and mutilated by two schoolmates. So why was she murdered?
Jealousy.
What?
Pure and simple. Apparently, Sarah, who was a classmate of hers, thought that Adrienne, the new girl in school, wanted Sarah's boyfriend.
Here's what happened. It was a grisly murder of a 17-year-old girl named Adrienne Reynolds that shocked the small town of Moline, Illinois. And that's because her killers were her own schoolmates, 16-year-old Sarah Kolb and 17-year-old Corey Gregory. Sarah and Corey were girlfriend and boyfriend, and Adrienne was the pretty new girl in town who sparked a jealous streak in Sarah. Sarah was convinced Adrienne was stealing her friends and was about to steal her boyfriend Corey as well. This teen drama turned twisted and deadly on January 21st, 2005. During school lunch, the three teenagers drove to a fast food restaurant, and then the unthinkable happened. In broad daylight, while in the car, Sarah choked and beat Adrienne while Corey held her arms. The teens then took Adrienne's body to Sarah's grandparents' farm and burned it, then buried it. But the two teen lovers weren't done. They returned 2 days later and sawed Adrienne's body into pieces, dismembering her, dumping some of her remains on the farm and the rest in a state park. The teens were punished for this evil and gruesome crime. Adrienne's father was filled with emotion.
I'm not mad. I'm hurt. I might get over being mad, but I don't think I'll ever get over hurt.
Both Corey Gregory and Sarah Kolb got over 40 years in prison for murdering, burning, and mutilating the body of 16-year-old Adrienne Reynolds. You know, it's interesting. We know teenagers, and it's very difficult for adults to think. I can understand jealousy, and I can understand even somebody thinking about jealousy when there really is nothing of any kind of fact there. And I can understand maybe even beating somebody up. But what these two did...
Oh, to saw off the head as they did, saw off the arms and then bury it. They were doing this to try to conceal the homicide, but they were unsuccessful.
If there were two people involved, why couldn't he stop her?
He could have, but instead, Maury, he held down the victim.
How was the body found?
Ultimately, the body was found because Corey cooperated with law enforcement. He made a deal in return for not being charged with the murder. He got charged with a lesser crime, and he led them to the state park where the remains were buried.
This next story